Hi, Lydia.
Hi, Dale. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for stepping up and coming in. So let me get right to the bottom line, Lydia. Is this decline in the pound a correction in a bull market, or are we reverting back to the long-term downtrend?
I think it's a correction in the bull market. I really do. So I think that this is basically the chart. It's maybe my weekly will show it a little better. Yeah. So this is basically that. I think I like it on the daily. I just have a lot of lines here. So why I keep this? I kept this because this last thrust up into 143.78, 68 was basically this hit on the 123 line, and then we just said boom, and we tanked. And really, this correction is still just this entire move, and it's it was a two wave kind of thrust or rally. We moved up to the upside, and then we had that nice correction. We moved back higher and made a new high. Barely, we hit the 123, and we're still just in a correction. So okay. I can clean some of these up.
So you mentioned that we've had two waves, two drives. Does that mean anticipating a third?
Yes. Yes, I think that we can get a third, and I think it's a little better seen on the weekly chart. So we had this move, and we had this correction. Now we're having this move. And now this drop, which I know it's been a deep correction. I've just done, we're still just really at the 318. I think we can move lower. I don't think that the correction is over. And I think that especially yesterday or today, even we've had that hold at $1.40 and we've turned lower. I think we can move lower still into the 50% line. As you all know, with me, 50% retracement in cable is very normal. And I think given the rally and given where we're headed, I do believe, and I think that we're headed towards 145. And I think that on this weekly chart, if you're looking at this break, that we're looking at a move that returns us to 150, and we know that that's not going to come in dry or rally straight up. So these kind of move really isn't abnormal for the pound to get these really deep corrections, shake everybody out who was long, have you thinking that the sentiment has reversed, and now move up and then go back and rally again. And also interesting thing with cable is the seasonality. We're heading into May, and again, seasonality is like correlations. They work until they don't, but pound strength is typical this time of year. So I still I don't see a reason not to be long the pound. I would wait. I'm not trying to chase anything or get into the pound really until we can get below this week's lows here at 139.
So you'd be probing it at your 50% level, 38.40, or do you wait for it to react from 38.40 and do something positive to let you know you got something?
Yeah, no, I'll be probing it then. So I'll have an order set up ahead of that level, and with the stop, a tight stop, and wait to see what it does. Because with the pound, likely it's going to be a spike low. A spike low, it reacts, and then it's going to jump off. So I'm kind of like this here, kind of like we get at these bottoms. Like it's just a spike, it touches, and it reacts.
Okay. So with that constructive view on the pound, I find it interesting. I know last time we talked, we were looking for, and you were, and many FX participants were looking for a major breakdown in euro pound, and we got one.
Yeah.
With no follow through.
Yeah. So this is my weekly view, and yeah, we got that breakdown right into this support level. So folks shouldn't give up too much on the euro pound. This is a natural reaction off of major support level, 86.50. So I think this is pretty expected. This is a huge time. This is a big time level. So to correct this entire thing and then come into the 38.2, I thought we might head higher. Like maybe we would see, the market flush out longs above 88. But we moved right into 88. and held it. And now we're turning over. See, like now we're below the 87.50 level.
Okay.
That's a great reaction. I mean, that's
to me, just keeping an open mind. If you look to the left of the low, that spike that we had, and we're failing kind of like at a neckline up there, a little under 88, that we could pull back maybe 61.8 of this recent bounce and put in a right shoulder.
Okay. I see what you're saying. So it drops here and back into 87 or even below 86 and then reacts again back towards 88. And
then next time over 88, maybe it has could challenge the 89 level or 90.
You know, if we get, you know, that's something I would keep an eye on. I would definitely keep an eye on what happens at 87 and below 87. And if we get that kind of reaction, I would wait for the 50% line.
All right. So the yen has really taken the market by surprise. So I'm also curious on what you're thinking here with Guppy, and you would think that the yen would be a pretty good assist for this pair on the upside. Are you, if you're bullish of pound and the yen's acting okay, I'm assuming you're probably looking to buy pullbacks in Guppy and you like it.
Yes. So, you know, I'm one of those who was surprised by the yen. And it's quite bullish here above 152. That's where I last tried to catch it short. It was at a 61.8 line, 61.8 line of this move to the downside. So we broke above there. I had to take a loss on that, and so I've been watching this pullback to see what it does. And so what I'm waiting for, because admittedly I'm not super convinced that the yen is weak, and I think that comes with my bias towards equity. So it's hard for me to get short on the yen. And what I'm looking for is to see if this, and so far so good, this is very constructive, but I'm waiting to see if this high fails. And if we get a failed high here, we will move lower. We will likely move below 150. And then it remains to be seen if we hold support inside these fibs or above 148, ultimately above 148. But I think that if we don't get this move above 154, that we're headed back towards 150. And if we break and hold below 150, particularly going into Friday, I think that we're headed back towards 148. The charts are clearly
in equities, Lydia. Since
I'm sorry?
It influences you, your bias in equities, because you said it influences you.
It does give me a bias. You know, I try to trade every chart unto itself, but I can't help but keep a mind to weak S&P and wondering why the yen is so weak as well. So I'm thinking you have to prove yourself. And, you know, if we don't get this move to the downside it is a nice correction, particularly on the weekly, and we basically failed. You know, we should have gotten above 156. So we failed. To me, that's like the first sign. When we dropped, but then we held, you know, above the fib. And so right now I'm looking to see what kind of failure we get. If we get failure now, as the pound yen is attempting to move out of this current fib, so it needs to break above 154. And now it's looking weak. You know, we have momentum is not carrying us through. I think we can see a failure, and we're going to see a move. I think we'll see a move back to 148 and below. I do think that this drop to the downside was the beginning of something, but again, clearly the pound strength took over, smashed us through the 61.8 line, took us towards, and should have taken us towards this resistance. So if just look at the weekly, this is what I'm talking about, you know, kind of right at just below the 50. And so this is a failed high. If this fails ultimately, and this is that 153.85 high, if this fails ultimately we're moving back towards 144, right? Okay. So that's why I'm really, I don't believe this yen weakness. I don't believe yen weakness. I think that this is a shakeout, and I think that we can get a significant move back to the downside. But
what would be levels that you would you short it on weakness proving itself to the downside, or do you have a level on the upside where you would probe a short?
Short the week. I like it here above 152 for a short. I think, you know, the high 152.60, yesterday's high, I think that's a nice stop. This is a 40 pip stop. So, you know, if it's too wide for you, you want to kind of wait to see if this, wait today. And you can see today, if we kind of move to the upside, if we move back into 152.60 and take that high out, then you want to wait and see what happens around 153, 154. But I mean, I like it here. Personally, I like this here. Again, I really think that the yen strengthens. I think the yen strengthens. And then, you know, we have the Bank of Japan, and we've had that kind of, you know, rhetoric. Yen always weakens into and after the BOJ. I mean, they haven't changed their stance in many years. They're always going to be dovish. You know, market still reacts to that. I don't know why. It's not a surprise. So I think the yen has to prove itself weak, particularly against the pound yen. It needs to get itself above 154 to win that case.
All right, definite conviction there about the yen, that this is a bear market rally, therefore opportunities in the pound yen are looking to sell rallies. So what about with all the weakness that we've also had in commodity currencies, and a lot of commodities under pressure as of late, and Aussie almost looks like a major weekly or monthly breakdown here. So you're probably looking to buy breaks in this as well.
Yeah, this one definitely needs to break if you're looking to buy the Aussie. This one needs to break. So this one's been in a consolidation for several weeks now. So let me just come out to the daily. Yeah, so this one has been in consolidation really since the end of March. We touched on 182 and between 185 or 184.50. So this one to me is in a range, and when we saw with the euro pound, you know, you want to wait not only until it breaks the top of the range if you're, you know, bearish on the Aussie, not only until it breaks the top of the range, but you'd like to get in then on a retest. So let it break above 185, come back and test, fall back into 185 or even 184.50, which would be more likely, and then take that long. So right here isn't interesting quite yet, unless you got in off the bottom of the range, right? You should be taking your profits at this point. But for those of us who aren't in this trade, there's nothing to trade here yet until we get a break. Or you can even see how people might even be positioning on this one short, just because we're in a range, right? And you play the range until it breaks. So a short up here too makes sense, and that would fall in line with some like another move of weakness in the pound in general.
Okay, all right. What a great wrap. So and really a pearl. In a range, you do nothing unless you're trading the range, and then wait for the range to be broken to the upside or downside, and don't go with that initially, but wait for the retest of previous support or previous resistance.
Yeah, bingo. Yeah, and the lovely thing about the pound is that it tends to always do that. never chase the break, not with pound.
Okay, so I think we've covered the gamut in everything cable, have we?
Yeah, I'd say so.
All right, so why don't you take some time to tell people what you do, Lydia, and how they could reach you.
Thanks so much, Dale, for having me. I love coming in and talking because we can talk technicals, and that's that's our lane versus the fundamentals, solely fundamentals. So I'm a trader, as you all know, Forex trader, also a registered investment advisor. You can catch me on Twitter at FaithMight. And I'm
a must follow. A must follow. Everyone.
A must follow from Dale's mouth, not mine. Yeah, give you a follow on at FaithMight on Twitter. My blog I don't have up yet is faithmightfx.com, and I put a lot of the charts up. It's more of a technical blog. I'm trying to make it a little bit more. So it's great for us traders, I think, my blog and the charts that I post. And you You can check out my company at FM Capital GRP, which is FM Capital Group, which we do the asset management and other financial solutions. And I also coach. So off the blog, I'm also coaching. I think the blog is the best place to go. But off the blog, you can find where I'm here, Learn with Lydia. I'm also do some coach and mentoring for students who are looking to get better at their trading in particular. And we do go with the Forex market and obviously with pound, but that knowledge can be extrapolated into other markets and into other asset class and other charts. And then Invest with Lydia, you can find more about the RIA and other management services that we provide.
What's your minimum account for your RIA, Lydia?
Great question, Dale. So we have no account minimums, but we really are trying to provide services to anyone who needs them, and that's everyone. We all need some sort of asset management, I believe. So even traders, because traders are constantly looking at the markets that they're trading, and then you need it is wise to have someone else on your team looking at everything else.
Let me ask you this. Do people have to transfer their account to a particular broker for you to be their RIA?
Ooh, good question again. No. So we are independent, and so that allows us to work with the brokers and the accounts that clients come to us with. So there's no unnecessary transferring. We're only doing transfers when it makes the most sense. Usually investment options are poor within the current account or something along those lines, but not just to work with me, no.
Okay.
And I'm very deliberate about that. We're independent.
That's a lot of great flexibility. Check out Tastyworks.
Yeah.
And Lydia, so that means that's really flexible. Most RIAs have minimums.
Yes.
A lot of RIAs, you have to transfer your account to the broker dealer they have their RIA hung with.
Right.
So a lot of flexibility. I would feel comfortable getting Lydia's input with my retirement funds. So thank you very much for being here today and clarifying cable. The big question was, this is just a pause in an ongoing bull market in cable. So instead of worrying about dollar strength, consider it setting up a great opportunity should Lydia's scenario play out. Thank you, Lydia.
Thanks, Dale. Thank you all.
All right, my trading warrior sister, Lydia Idem Finkley at F.A.C.E, and it's a great handle because I have faith in her. So everyone, that's our wrap for today. Good hunting the rest of the day. Thank you for your attention, and we'll see everyone for investing.com Thursday tomorrow. And most of all, don't just count your pips, my friends. Count your blessings. Thanks again, Lydia. See everyone tomorrow. Adios.